There are effectively two ways we can use the system board. One is like a feet-on fingerboard, and the other is to do systematic movements where you do a problem and then you do the complete mirror of the problem, so you keep symmetry in your training. Unlike the pegboard and the rings, what you're going to need to do before you use a system board is you're still going to have to warm up, you're still going to have to sort of have a boulder, but you want to make sure you've still got some of your contact finger strength left, because you are going to be doing very fingery activities on the systems board. The name system boards comes from the systematic training. So what you're trying to do is work crimps, pinches, slopers, side pulls, gastons, undercuts. If all of that, some of that terminology is foreign to you, don't worry, we'll try and explain it as we go along. So in this exercise, what I'm doing is using two crimps in a straight down configuration. So what you've got to think is you've got all the different holds and you've got different orientations that you can pull in them. So this is a straight down pull. So I'm pulling up and I can only really lock the hold sort of like by my shoulder. These are undercuts, and I can actually pull in and actually get them to sort of my waist, so I can move quite a way off them. This is a normal side pull, and again, if I get it out to my side, I can get it quite a way away from me and can move quite a distance and can get them quite low. And this last one is called a gaston, or kind of like a reverse side pull, and it's actually really shouldery. So a lot of people find this as one of their weaknesses. It's quite good for developing your shoulder strength. So to start off with, what you're best off doing with the systems board is to just work both hands together and, you know, do two gaston holds, two side pull holds, two crimp holds, two undercut holds, and work through them. And also you can then add in for each of those orientations a crimp, a pinch, a side pull, or a sloper. You can then start doing little traverses. So you start on one hold, come into a central, usually better hold, and out to the mirror of the sort of position you've held, and do that a couple of times on each side. In this exercise, actually struggling with my left side. So what I do is I then step back off and actually just step back into the position I found harder on my left side, but not my right. So I kind of working more my weak side rather than both sides. Having worked through all the different holds and orientations in a more static way, you know, working each hand, what you can then do is start make up problems and mirroring them. So this next section is different ways to show you that you can make different problems to either work undercuts, side pulls, gastons, or pull down crimps. So this was a problem going off undercuts. Again, remember to give yourself a couple of minutes rest between each exercise. And this next one is pulling straight down on crimps. Now, one thing that I'd like you to have a look at in these videos is I'm not really using technique when I'm climbing these problems. I'm actually staying really face on, which is bad technique, but actually it's good for when you're using the systems board, because we're just trying to develop our strength rather than sort of use technique to get round it. So this next problem is using gastons or backhanded side pulls to get up. One of the things you need to look out for when you're training on a systems board is you might go up with your right hand and your right hand will be high and your left hand will be low, and you'll find it hard to move your left hand higher, or you might find your left hand's high and your right hand's low and you find it harder to move your right hand up. Again, a bit like before, if you have got a weaker side or a weaker way to pull, do an extra rep on that side so you're working the weakness. And this final example is just sort of side pull and pinches. Again, what you need to do is, this is only a limited example. I didn't want to go through every single possible permutation.